Okay, good morning, friends. Shalom Aleichem. Hope everyone is doing well on this fine Thursday morning. We're continuing in Hilchos Tefillah, Mishnah Berura, Daf HaShavua, Siman Tzadi, Seif Yud Zayin. Yesh Misha Omer. There are those who say, we just learned that if you're on the road and you're traveling, and if you travel a little further, up to 4 mil further, you'll find a minyan. You got to keep going so that you find the minyan. Yesh Mishamer. There are those who say, this is the Shita of the Aguda. Shemikol sheken shalayashkim adam leilech meir shemispalalim ba ba'asara im yachal lavai limchais chavtzai ba'irayam gada. Certainly, you should not wake up early to leave a city. You should not leave early a city that they're davening with a minyan if you could still get to your destination during the day. And you won't have to travel on your own after davening. Meaning like this, here's the scenario. The scenario is, you got to get up early and get your day started. But if I do that, I'm not going to have a minyan on the road. In the city that I live, there's a minyan, but it's going to make me, I'm going to get delayed. I'm not going to be able to start my day as early as I would like. But I'll be able to get to my destination while it's still day. I won't be traveling alone. Don't leave the city then until you have a minyan. Okay, says the holy Mishnah Berura, Sivkatan Nun Gimel, Leilech Meir, to go from a city. Says the Mishnah Berura, Mayri Bahoilech Dvarishus. It's talking about where you're going for a Dvarishus. You're going for something discretionary. Why? Why does that have to be the case? Because if you're going for a mitzvah, I guess you would be allowed to leave early, even though it means missing a minyan. By the way, the Elya Rabbah says, what does it mean at Varishus? You're going to stroll, you're going to tour. But if you're going to work, the Aruch HaShulchan says, work is a dvar mitzvah, because it's a mitzvah to support your family. Okay. Says the Mishnah Berura weiter, obviously though it's not a mamish mitzvah, because you're not allowed to go to work before you daven, and you're allowed to do a mitzvah, you're allowed to do a dvar mitzvah before you daven. But it's some type of mitzvah status. V'ayim b'prima gadam shehiksha dekan masha davkim al yidei zeh yispatal etzlai tefillah b'tzibor uveloi zeh shari habalav hachi asur latzis adarach kaidem tefillas yurches. Here it's mashma that it's only asur to go before, to leave your city, if it's going to mean missing a minyan. Otherwise, you're allowed to. But you're not allowed to, because you're not allowed to travel before you daven Shemona Esrei. According to what the Ramah said in Siman Peites Sif Gimel, namely the Ramah said that the Ramah says v'yesh mekilin after you said part of some of the brachos. So then here you could be, that would be the kula. Then it would come out good. If it means missing a minyan, asar kan misham bitol tefila b'tzibor. Fine. Sivkatan nun dalid v'shalo yehei tzarach lalechas yechidi ha'im yesh ata sheyarei ve'ino yoretz lahamtin alav mutar. But if you have someone who is going to travel with you, I'm sorry, ha'im yesh ata sheyara, if you have a caravan, ve'ino yoretz, and the caravan doesn't want to wait for you, and stay davening with the minyan means you'll have to travel on your own, then you're allowed to go travel with them. Sif yurches. Sif Yurches is very interesting. Beis HaMedrash Kavua, a established Beis Medrash. Kadosh Yoser Beis Haknesses is holier than a Beis Haknesses. U'mitzvah lehispalel boy Yoser Beis Haknesses. It's a bigger mitzvah to daven in a Beis HaMedrash than a Beis Haknesses. provided that there's a minyan in the Beis Medrash. What's the chiddush of that? The chiddush is even though the Beis Haknesses is b'roivam, even though the shul has more people, so you think b'roivam? No, the makom kavua lelimud is a greater priority than the b'roivam. Says the Mishna Berura, va'afilim bebeis Haknesses ikar ravam hajas melech mikol makom Beis Medrash adif. However, v'hani mili mishaloi made by, that's if you're one of the learners. Ukadei shaloi yevatel, you're one of the learners. Not stam a guy off the street. He wants to know, should I daven in a Beis Medrash where people learn, or a Beis Haknesses? Oh, I'll go to Beis Medrash. No, I'm learning in the Beis Medrash. To get up and go to the Beis Haknesses, it's going to be bittul Torah for me. Ukadei shaloi yevatel milimudoi leilech leBeis Haknesses. Habelav hachi b'roivam Adif Ken Kasa Prima Gadim. Now, yeah, so that's an interesting take. Meaning, the Chai Adam points out that you have two possibilities. Let's say I could go to a big Beis Medrash or the small Beis Medrash that I learn in. The one that I learn in has precedence. I would say that may or may not be true, but you cannot infer anything from this Mishnah Berura, because this Mishnah Berura is talking about you are presently learning in the Beis Medrash, and for you to get up, it's bittul Torah. We don't see any nostalgic svaras that, this is the place where I learn, so it's holy. I don't think we see that from this Pri Megadim. That might be true. It sounds like the Chai Adam saying it is true. The place that you learn in general, let's say you have a random mincha. You want to know, should I daven in the big Beis Medrash, or should I daven in the Beis Medrash that I sometimes learn morning Seder or before davening? It sounds like the place that I typically learn has a special chashivas. V'nira Pashat, does that davke Beis Medrash shekavol liyachid l'limud? It's Pashat that when we say Beis HaMedrash, it's established for an individual to learn. Deloi kavua kedushasei kokach. Its kedusha is not that holy. V'chidamashim imagin Avram b'siman kufna gimel sef aleph. The bezeh irin on hachan. This is what we're talking about here. Aval Beis HaMedrash shekavua l'rabim l'limud HaTorah. A established Beis Medrash for limud HaTorah the rabbim. Bevadai kedushasai chamura yoisim Beis Haknesses. Certainly, its kedusha is greater than the Beis Haknesses. Umutav lehispala by ba'asara yoisim Beis Haknesses sheish by ravam. This din over here is even talking about a Beis Medrash kavua liyachid. But kavua l'rabim, of course, it's better to daven in it with 10 more than a Beis Haknesses that has ravam. Afilu mi she'ein loy made by klal. Even if you're not one of the learners. God loves the gates that excel in halacha. So let's clarify. If you have a choice, should I daven in the big shul or a Beis HaMedrash where I'm in right now? So if I'm in the Beis Medrash right now, and I am presently learning, and even though it's not a Beis Medrash, that's Kavua l'Rabbim, but I'm learning in it, I'm not mevata for my learning. However, says the Mishna, that would imply, but if I'm not in the Beis Medrash, and I want to make a general decision, should I daven in the Beis Haknesses where I learn, Beis Haknesses b'Ravam, or the Beis Medrash where I learn? It sounds like the Beis Haknesses would take precedence because I'm not presently learning there. But that's only a Beis Haknesses that's not Kavua l'Rabbim. But if it's Kavua l'Rabbim, then even if I'm not learning there, it has precedence over a Beis Haknesses. So l'maisa, if someone has the opportunity to daven in a yeshiva, they're better off davening in a yeshiva than a shul. So you might say, I don't have time, I have to go to work. In the yeshiva, they take 3 times as long to daven as in the shul. That may be true, but we're talking about in a laboratory right now where all factors being equal. You want to know, should I learn in a place where it's kavua l'rabim for Torah or just a shul? Daven in a shul. So you say, but in the shul they have shiurim. So he brings from the Teres Chaim that if there's just a shiur there an hour or two a day, it does not have the mila of a Beis HaMedrash. The mile of the Beis Medrash is Shasham Kvios HaTorah V'Hira B'Chol Yom. Weiter. Ve'enoi Misbatel. Okay, we have to see the Ramah here. It says Ramah, Haga. V'Yoysham Dafilu B'Lo Yasara Adaf L'Sal Beis HaMedrash HaKavu Alai. Some say, even without a minyan, it's better to daven where you learn. V'dafka misha terasum nasa. That's only if Torah is your profession. Ve'inoi misbatel b'lav hachi. And you don't look at your phone ever during the day. You're not a batlan. But if anyway you're mevato for other things, then you should be mevato for tefillah b'tzibur. V'afilu hachi lo yarga asmas eskein. Even someone who's terasum nasa should not train himself not to daven with a minyan, so that the unlearned do not learn from you. Beis Haknesses, and they're going to learn not to come to shul. Says the Mishna Berura, the barometer of whether someone is allowed to stay in the Beis Medrash and daven b'yechidus is they're never a misbatel. What do you mean never? Only for necessary things. It's tzarchei gufay. For their body, for their health, for limudai. So therefore we tell them, don't go to the shul. Even if there aren't 10 in the Beis Medrash. There's bittul Torah when you're walking. Now, this is something I didn't know. I always thought we don't say Tairasa Yom Nasai Bizman Hazeh. And generally we don't regarding being exempt from davening. But says Moshe, we don't say that Bizman Hazeh someone is Tairasa Yom Nasai to exempt them from Shemana Esrei. But we would say Tairasa Yom Nasai that if you're in the Beis Medrash, don't go out to a shul to daven with a minyan. Now that's a very big nafkamina. It happened many times in my yeshiva years. You know, if let's say you miss the yeshiva mincha, you come late to yeshiva mincha. Should I go to a minyan in a shul or should I daven b'yechidus in the yeshiva? So the Ramah is saying you do not have to go and daven with a minyan. But we don't say Tairasa Nasai. For this we do say. In this situation, for someone who's terasum nasai, even according to the mechaber, you wouldn't need a minyan. Certainly, if you're teaching Torah publicly, what if going to a minyan will mean being mevatel teaching Torah? You should not leave your learning to go to shul. So I have a good shaila for you. This is Nagea. Sunday morning, there are times, maybe in the summer, that it's hard for us to get a minyan. So, well, no problem. We'll go down the block. We daven 8:30 Sunday. We'll go to the block 9. Or they have minyanim the whole morning. But if we do that, there's no shiur. What would you say? Should we daven b'yechidus in the shul and then have a shiur after? Or should we go down with the minyan? Usually what we try to do is, we try to make sure that doesn't happen. Baruch Hashem, it didn't happen in a long time. But what would you say to do? Should you go down with the minyan and lose the shiur? Sounds like you shouldn't lose the shiur. What we try to do is go down with the minyan and then come back and give the shiur, but many people don't return. Okay, But the Ramah says, don't get used to doing this. Why? So that Amei Aretz don't learn from you. Ki lo yedinu l'kav schus. And Am Aretz is not going to judge you favorably. Litlois b'tayrasai. They're not going to hinge it on your Torah. Shebeshol limudo yimsal b'yachid. That you're down in b'yachid because of your learning. Rak yoimer. They're going to say she'enoi choshesh b'tfila. That you're not concerned about davening. V'yadunu kavachomer al atzmam. They're going to say if this Talmid Chacham is not careful about minyan, kavachomer to them. V'lo yachoshu klal atfila. And they will not be concerned at all for the tefillah. Okay, Rabbi Isai, stay tuned for whether we're going to meet tomorrow morning. Okay, I'll send out a message. Hatzlacha Rabba, everyone. Have a great day. Bracha v'hatzlacha. Kol tov.